Hello and welcome to our 5th episode of Survivors Play Blood on the Clocktower, our first episode of Sex and Violets. Thank you so much to everybody who has contributed to my Kickstarter by buying my book. I've asked people to buy copies of Escape, and because I've sold 1,220 copies. That 1,000 means we're getting 3 episodes of Sex and Violets, the first of which is going to premiere in about 20 seconds. And we are already 220 on our way to getting Bad Moon Rising. So if you want to see those episodes of Bad Moon Rising, check out stephenfishback.com. You can learn more about my book and decide if you'd like to purchase it. And if we get to 3,000 total copies sold, we'll be doing 4 extra episodes of custom scripts. Not looking too likely now, but I'm optimistic. Who knows? And just a brief note, if you are a newer player to the script, it's a little bit complicated. I'm going to link in the show notes. We're going to have a link to the wiki where you'll be able to look up all the roles and some of the key mechanics. I also, if you haven't seen these episodes before, we'll also link to our earlier episodes of Survivors Play Blood on the Clocktower so you can watch us play some of the more introductory scripts. And with that, let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Survivors and Friends, Claire, play Blood on the Clocktower, and today we've got a game that we are playing for the first time here, Sex and Violets. More on that to come, and of course we're joined by maybe the GOAT, the storyteller from the Pandemonium Institute, Ben Burns. Ben, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you guys?
Nervous. Okay, we got a lot of fun to come. Of course, with us today, Stephen, Fishback, Franny, Owen, Omer, Claire, Sam, Emily, Marianne, and Christian. And Ben, you've already given out our assignments for today's game. And so, anything else you want to say before we give everybody their roles and information?
All I want to say is get ready to go up a gear because we're graduating up to Sex and Violets.
All right, Ben. Today we are playing the version of Blood on the Clocktower, Sex and Violets. That's S-E-C-T-S, and Violets, like the flower, which is different than Trouble Brewing, which is what we've done for our first 4 survivors playing Blood on the Clocktower. So, Ben, what's the difference between this game and what we've done before?
So, on paper, this is what we've termed an intermediate script. So, Trouble Brewing is a beginner script. This is an intermediate script. So, at its core, it's a more complex, more nuanced experience. How is that the case? How is that achieved? Well, very simply. First of all, there are 4 demons on the script, so there's not just an imp. There are 4 separate demons and
4 demons.
4 whole demons. Of course, there'll only be one of them in play, but part of figuring out what's going on is figuring out which demon is in play, and each of those demons are different and they operate differently, and they have their own kind of tells and signs for their existence. But there are also some other. It's not just the evil team that have got an upgrade. The good guys have got some new stuff that they can do. There are some characters that only act once per game at night. There are some characters that can change alignment, change character, things like that. And generally speaking, everything is a bit more powerful than on Trouble Brewing. There are some crucial things that you need to be aware of when you play Sex and Violets. And they are as follows. First of all, character and alignment are not tied to one another. There are characters on this script that can change another player's character. That one of the minions, the pit hag, just chooses a player and a character, and they become that character. But they don't change what team they're on. So if the pit hag turns a good player into a demon, they've made a good demon, which is usually quite bad for the evil team. And so it's important to remember when playing Sex and Violets that character and alignment are not tied together.
Okay.
There are also some characters on this script that can end the game immediately. Characters like the evil twin, who has a good player that's twinned with them, and if they execute the good player, the good team just wins. Or an outsider called the klutz, who when they die, they pick someone, and if that player is evil, the good team just loses and evil wins. And lastly, we have a brand new mechanic here called Madness. And Madness is an interesting mechanic. It's If you are sincerely trying to convince people that a thing is true, you are mad about that thing. So, for example, anyone who's played Trouble Brewing will probably have said a sentence like, I'm the empath and I have a 2, so both of my neighbours are evil. In that instance, that player is mad that they're the empath, that they have a 2, and that both of their neighbours are evil, because they're sincerely trying to convince everybody that those 3 things are true. And I use that example because over the course of a game, players will be mad about dozens and dozens of different things. You'll be mad about who's on the good team. You'll be mad about what character you are. You'll be mad about whether or not you're telling the truth. You'll be mad about things that aren't game related. You might be mad that Pepsi's better than Coke. You might be mad that death metal is a rubbish music genre. You know, you'll just infinite things you'll be mad about. But there are some characters on this script that interact with specific instances of madness. One of those is the mutant, who is an outsider, whose ability is, if you are mad about being an outsider, you might be executed. And so, as a mutant, if a player tries to convince people that they're the mutant, they might be executed. And there is a minion called the Serenovus, who each night chooses a player and a good character for them to be mad about being tomorrow. And if the next day that player doesn't sincerely attempt to convince people they're that character, they might be executed. Madness is a choice. Ultimately, you're like, if you are affected by a madness-inducing character, you're given a choice. You either adhere to the madness and you get to live, or you choose not to adhere to the madness but run the risk of being executed as a result.
Let's learn about who everybody is today, and if you don't mind, Ben, that consider me an avatar for the audience who might need a little more hand-holding today, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's start at the top of the grimoire, where Stephen Fishback is the Town Crier.
The Town Crier, whose ability reads, each night you learn if a minion nominated today. So we will be keeping track of whether or not minions have nominated, and each night, if he's alive, Fishback gets to learn whether or not a minion nominated. Or does he? Because more on that later. we will get round to that, but for reasons that will become clear soon, Fishback will very likely spend the entire game poisoned.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about Franny, who is to the right of Steven on the grimoire, that she is the mutant.
The mutant, an outsider whose ability reads, if you are mad about being an outsider, you might be executed. It's very simple. Franny can either be honest about what she is and say, I'm the mutant, or I'm an outsider, but if she does that, there's a very real possibility that we will execute her. And remember, execution immediately ends the day. Or, if Franny likes, she can lie and pretend she is another character type, probably a townsfolk, and get to live and not be executed as a result.
Okay. Owen is the barber.
The barber, our other outsider. If you died today or tonight, the demon may choose 2 players, not another demon, to swap characters. So, basically, if Owen dies during the day, we'll wake up the demon immediately at night and say, the barber is dead, would you like to swap? And if Owen is killed by the demon, we'll immediately tell the demon, you've just killed the barber, would you like to swap 2 players? And Christian, our demon, will then have the choice of whether or not he wants to swap 2 players' characters. He can use that to swap a dead outsider into a useful townsfolk. He can use that to swap himself with his minion if he thinks things are going poorly. There's an infinite number of things that he can do. Or, if he wants to, he can simply choose not to do it and leave the good team wondering who's been swapped.
Okay. Omer is the dreamer.
The dreamer, a very powerful townsfolk. Each night, choose a player, not yourself. You learn 1 good and 1 evil character, one of which is correct. So each night Omer will pick somebody, and we will tell Omer 2 characters, and one of those characters will be the character that player is, and the other one will be a character of an opposing alignment. So if, for example, Omer picks Owen, we'll say Barber and something evil. If Omer picks Christian, we'll say something good and Nodashi. It's a difficult character to run well because you need to leave in the possibility of other players being demons. If you just show all the good guys as a good guy and a minion, and then eventually Omer picks the actual demon, they'll just figure out who it is. So you have to leave a lot of viable demon candidates in there. And also, if Omer picks an evil player, we have to try and figure out what good character that player is bluffing as, which can be quite difficult.
Somehow, I feel like Claire is always evil in these games today. Once again, she's a minion. She's the witch.
The witch, whose ability reads, each night choose a player. If they nominate tomorrow, they die. If just 3 players live, you lose this ability. So each night, Claire will pick somebody, and the next day, the moment that player nominates, if they nominate at all, they will immediately die. It's important to note that this says die, not execute, so it's not an execution. It doesn't end the day like an execution normally would. They just die, and then we continue on with the nomination. Of course, if there are only 3 players left alive, the witch loses this ability because it would be a free win, essentially, at that point.
Okay, Sam is here, and he is the seamstress.
Once per game, at night, choose 2 players, not yourself. You learn if they are the same alignment. So, once per game, at any point during this game, well, during the night phase, of course, Sam can choose 2 players and learn yes if they're on the same team or no if they're on different teams.
Okay. Emily is our juggler.
The juggler. On your first day, publicly guess up to 5 players' characters. That night, you learn how many you got correct. So, on the first day of the game, Emily can publicly say, I'm going to juggle Franny as this, and Owen as that, and Sam as this other thing, up to 5 players, and then that night we'll wake Emily and tell her how many she got correct. You might see several people pretending to juggle. It's a common tactic because it covers up who the real juggler is to our demon.
Marianne is the clockmaker.
The Clockmaker, you start knowing how many steps from the demon to its nearest minion. So steps is, if you imagine you stand on the demon's head and you leap from player to player until you hit a minion, that's how many steps the minion is away from its demon. So in this instance we've got Christian, so Marianne is 1, Emily is 2, Sam is 3, and Claire is 4. So there are currently 4 steps between the minion and the demon, but Marianne is poisoned because Christian is
No Dashi.
Our demon, the No Dashi, whose ability reads, each night choose a player, they die. Your 2 townsfolk neighbours are poisoned. So, for this entire game, Fishback and Marianne will be poisoned, probably. That will only change if Fishback or Marianne ceases to be a townsfolk, or if Christian and Claire somehow swap characters, because it is always the 2 nearest townsfolk neighbours to the No Dashi. It does not specify alive neighbours, that's an important distinction to make, so if Fishback and Marianne die, they're just 2 dead, poisoned townsfolk. It doesn't skip over to the next alive townsfolk. But for this entire game, unless something crazy happens, we're going to be lying to Marianne, and we're going to be lying to Fishback.
Let's go through the bluffs that you have available today.
Okay, so we're going to be giving Christian the following bluffs. Oracle, whose ability reads, each night you learn how many dead players are evil. The advantage of that as a bluff is obvious. Good player dies. Oh, I'm learning that there's 1 dead evil player, guys. Or your evil minion dies and you can say, oh, no, still got 0, I'm afraid. So just a nice, easy little frame job. We have the Philosopher, who's a very powerful townsfolk. Once per game at night, choose a good character, gain that ability. If this character is in play, they are drunk. So a real Philosopher would, at some point, choose to gain an ability and just have that ability for the whole game. But if the ability that they've chosen is already in play, the original player who has that character is drunk while ever the Philosopher lives. So not only can you just choose any ability you like and say you have it, you can also cast shade on a legitimate, sober and healthy townsfolk's information by saying, I'm very, very sorry, but I'm afraid I've made you drunk. And lastly, the dreaded Snake Charmer, a townsfolk whose ability reads, each night choose an alive player, a chosen demon swaps characters and alignments with you and is then poisoned. So each night a Snake Charmer would wake up and choose someone, and if they choose the demon, they become the evil demon, and the evil demon becomes the good Snake Charmer. It's a deadly game of chicken where you really don't want to pick the demon. You want to pick everybody but the demon. And the advantages of that bluff are obvious, right? You can just have your minion say, hey, I've picked this guy who's my demon, and I've not changed alignment, so they must not be the demon.
Okay, we're playing Sex and Violence, baby! Let's go! Since you last saw me, playing Survivors, playing Blood on the Clocktower. Boy, have I gotten obsessed with this game. But I must be honest, Sex and Violets is the script that still scares me the most. There's madness, there's role switching. We got it all! And I'm already sweaty, so that's a wonderful sign.
I haven't played since episode 3, where of course I did win as our imp, but now I am a little nervy because Sex and Violets is a lot more complicated.
I know this group. I know Survivor players. These people are going to lie. I guarantee you they're going to lie. And even when I look at my neighbors, Claire and Emily, right here in our circle, these are two people that have bamboozled me pretty much every game that I've played. So I don't think anybody's going to be really forthcoming and like hard claim their information early on.
I love Clocktower. I love the deductive nature of it, you know, the deduction of other people. I don't love being evil. And it is, in my opinion, so much harder because you have to come up with fake stories to you have to come up with fake stories to tell other people. You have to throw people under the bus, and I don't love that. So I got to really get ready to embrace this. This is scary.
I am excited to play this more difficult version. Enough of trouble brewing. Let's get on to the big leagues. I spayed a bunch of bitches today, so round 2.
Who's up first to come in?
Let's get Claire in here. Hello, Claire.
Claire.
Hello, boys.
Claire, can we get your best cackle, please? Nice.
That was it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Claire, it wouldn't be the evil team without you.
Oh, you know, it's not the first time I've been called a witch. I'm excited. I'm thrilled, hoping to get that repeat evil win.
Fantastic. Well, you don't have to go it alone, Claire, because you are teamed up with Christian as your demon.
That's fun, right?
Beautiful. You know, I think Christian is the player I fear the most in these games because he can just really drill on someone and he can't handle logical fallacies, if you will. So I'd way rather have him on my team than against me.
Fantastic. Well, you also get to choose someone tonight, and if they nominate tomorrow, they will die. So who do you think's going to be throwing shade around tomorrow, Claire? Who do you want to kill, if you can?
It's really, there's almost too many options in this group, but I wouldn't be witch if I didn't curse Omer on night 1.
Omer it is.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Let's get this game going. You know
I think there's 0% chance he doesn't nominate in the first round, and probably Marianne. Maybe you.
Easily me. I think my play will be to avoid Omer today and just have him die.
Yeah.
That's, that'll be fine.
Okay. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see if you got it right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Some people play it safe and only choose themselves, but I do not want to go that route because I enjoy a fun, fast-paced game. So if I'm evil, which I am, I want this game to go fast, and let's just annihilate them and win.
We are over to our demon. Let's get Christian in here.
Hello, friends.
Lord Dashi, how are you?
More than a little nervous, Rob, not gonna lie. You know, being a Dashi, or not a Dashi, whatever it is I am, is a lot of work and a lot of stress. You know, we don't get enough credit.
That anything like how I ordered dinner? I just got it from DoorDashi.
That's true. It's also could be a soup with a dashi stock that you order off of DoorDashi. Well, either which.
I hope I'm not poisoned.
You know, if you're sitting next, well, guess what? You're sitting next to me right now, so guess what?
No. Okay. All right.
Okay, well, Christian, your tentacles do extend either side of you, but they don't extend quite as far as your minion, who is very, very far away, all the way on the other side of the circle. It is Claire.
Claire. She's gonna have to carry us. I'm not gonna lie. She is very good at this. So all right. And so I know she is my minion. Okay. So she is my minion, and I'm curious, my friend, what bluffs I'm gonna get.
We're giving you Oracle.
Okay.
Philosopher.
Oracle, Philosopher,
and Snake Charmer.
And Snake Charmer. That's interesting. So I have a question about the Snake Charmer. Okay. So, if there was a real Snake Charmer, and they Snake Charmed me on the first night, what would I know?
you would. So basically, the snake charmer goes first. Every pretty much every night. Well, they go after the philosopher, of course, but other than philosopher, they go first. So we would be immediately waking them up now, more or less. And if they were to pick you, we would then tell them, you are the Nodashi, you are evil, and then we'd come straight to you and say, you are the snake charmer, you are good. So you would immediately know. You would know. You would have learned who your minion was, and you would be able to immediately throw them under the bus. It would be an utterly brutal experience, and it's why some snake charmers will just choose themselves on night one because they don't want to be thrown into that situation. Now that you know there's no snake charmer in play, you do have the potential strategy of, hey guys, I just became the snake charmer.
Yes, I can do
that. You know
that.
that no one's going to be. You can definitely throw people under the bus with that.
Okay, I can work with that. All right, I'm going to claim philosopher, and I'm going to say on night one, I immediately took the mathematician's ability. Okay, and I'm going to start claiming mathematician 0.
All right.
Who else, Ben?
We now have our first big decision to make. Marianne, the poisoned clockmaker. So the correct number of steps is 4. We should definitely not say that. We should probably say something between 1 and 3. I think my thinking is 2 for a number of reasons. Primarily because the people who actually neighbor the witch are the dreamer and the seamstress, and I think those are the 2 people that are quite likely to discover who the minion is. And so if they discover that Claire is the witch, they'll then start pointing fingers at Emily and Owen, who probably won't have a very easy way to prove themselves. So I think we'll lie to Marianne and tell her that the demon is 2 steps away from its minion.
Ben, if you say 2, I will follow you into the pits of hell, okay?
Okay. All right, well, 2 it is then. Let's get Marianne in here.
Marianne!
Team good.
How are you? Clockmaker.
Oh, it's so... I love watches. I love good. I love making stuff. It's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, you start off with a very critical piece of the puzzle here. You start knowing how many steps from the minion to its demon, or from the demon to its nearest minion. Do you have any questions about what that means before we give you your information?
So to be clear, the number that I get is a pair of a demon and a minion, correct?
Yeah, and it's steps. So if you imagine you start off standing on the head of the demon and jump from player to player until you land on the minion's head. So, for example, Sam is 2 steps from you, Emily is 1 step from you, Claire is 3 steps from you.
Yes. Perfect.
Cool. All right, well, we are here to tell you that the minion is 2 steps away from its demon.
So, 1, 2.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We've got to get Omer and Sam in here, so let's get Omer in here to make his dreamer pick.
Omer! Yes.
Dream on.
The dreamer.
Dream on. Dream on.
Call you
Sing with me.
Dreams.
You know, it's hard to choose who I'm going to pick, but, I have, been at odds with Marianne before. So let's find out some information that could potentially bury her or make us work.
Okay, you choose Marianne, and you learn that she is either the clockmaker or the Fangu.
Of course she would be the fucking Fangu. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so you got to make quick decisions when it's the dreamer, but I think Marianne is a perfect
You were good.
To,
You were
to
very
be
quick.
potentially a demon, yeah.
Yes.
But of course, I imagine Marianne will immediately claim Clockmaker and Omer will believe her. But that remains to be seen. We have just one person to wake now, Rob. It is Sam, so let's get them in here.
Hey,
Can't spell
how we
Seamer
doing?
without Sam.
No, you cannot. What would we be? We'd be Emtress in that case, Rob. if I wasn't here.
Well, Sam, would you like to... you can only use this once per game, so if you use it tonight, it's gone. Obviously, the dilemma here is, if you use it tonight, you definitely get to use it before you die. But the later you leave it, the more specialized that information becomes. So it's a game of chicken, essentially.
Yeah, well, I'm a chicken, because I'm going to use my ability. I gotta say, I feel like this group is going to kill me. I don't think the drop-off in seamstress information is significant enough Like, I don't think the upgrade of information later in the game is significant enough to risk not getting it at all. Plus, I would love to be a fly on the wall. So what I'm doing with my seamstress information is I would love to know if Marianne and Omer are on the same team or not, because I'm just going to watch that chaos bubble explode and not tell anybody the truth.
Okay, you choose Marianne and Omer, and you learn that, yes, they are on the same team.
Okay, that's great. So now I know that all their bickering is for nothing, pretty much, when they're fighting. Inevitably, I am going to
Sometimes
try
they're
to
just
keep
fighting
it...
about something that happened in real life, and it spills over to the clock tower.
Well, it affects the town, Rob. It affects the town, and I can't be having that. I need to be the peacemaker. I'm probably going to die early on as the seamstress by execution or something. So I need to make sure I've got my ducks in a row. I will say, I'm also very selfish, and as much as I want to win and I want the town to win, I want the town to win because I piece it together and not because somebody else pieces it together. So I'm probably going to keep the information to myself for a little bit just to suit my own agenda. Look, I want town to win. But I also want to be the one to solve it. I'm selfish like that. So I'll have more satisfaction if we win the game because I'm able to piece it together than if, it's a group effort. The last time I tried a group effort, I got screwed by Miss Emily Flippin. Okay, not going to happen again.
All right, Ben, and with that, are you ready to turn these maniacs loose?
We are indeed ready. You ready?
I'm so ready. Let's see what they do with this.
Good morning, Ravenswood Bluff. You awake this morning to find that the town looks a little different. Up until last night, it was just a quaint little Victorian village in the middle of the woods, cut off from the rest of civilization. But all of a sudden, you awake to find you're in a slightly more metropolitan area. There are, all of a sudden, technological businesses springing up. People charming snakes and making clocks. Tents with oracles in them, casting fortunes. A man strolls through the town square, juggling as he laughs. But is he laughing, or is he crying? That's the question. Good luck, everybody.
You better be willing to work with me.
Oh, I said the same thing, Mary Imp, so you tell me if
not
we're working
the imp.
together.
No, that's actually disrespectful. I am not the imp. You better be willing to work with me. I want to work with you.
You better be ready because I'm not coming for you.
Neither am I.
Unless your info doesn't hold up. Even if you're bad, I'll work with you.
Of course, because then you want me to turn you bad. Unfortunately, that is impossible because I am good.
Okay, what do you got for me? How can I trust you?
I love telling time.
You love telling time. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you were trying to say that was so confusing. I literally gave it to you on a silver platter.
Okay. What is your clocking?
No, you give me more info first. I told you my role. Now I want some sort of info from you back.
Okay, what I will say is that I'm inclined to believe you. I think that it would be dangerous for me to reveal too much at this time. You know how merry messy I can be.
If you tell me, I won't tell a soul. I promise. And then I'll give you. I promise you.
I promise. What I will promise you is that you will be the first person I tell once I decide to tell. But
You're so annoying.
I know, but trust me, that it's best that this stays quiet for now, because if you know, then it also could incriminate you later. Like, the more you don't know right now, the better it will be for you later when it comes to corroborating your story.
That is so sus. I want you to know.
Hello.
I'm good this time. Sorry, I didn't even let you say hello. Hello! I swear to God, Owen, I swear to God, I would not have come to you first thing if I was not good.
I was thinking this last night in the dark, long night. I was like, I want to see if Franny comes to talk to me, because I feel like you avoid me if you're evil.
I absolutely do, and I know that you probably think that I would then reverse psychology you and come to you if I was evil, but
I'd be silly to not consider that.
I know. Oh, you did not consider that? Oh, well, that's
not... No, I
said
I would be silly to not consider that. I did consider that, but I'm choosing to believe you.
Yeah, I am good. There are reasons for me to lie in this particular game, but I am good, I swear. I swear.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take you at face value.
I really
We don't have to.
am,
How about this? How about this? Let's not hard claim today.
Yeah.
But because, like you, I also have reasons to lie.
Okay.
But can we just, for now, just say, like, hey, we're going to know that the other person is probably not being honest about their role, but, like, as we work towards solving later, we can reveal more truth as it comes out later.
Fabulous. Yes.
Okay.
I was just talking about you in my confessional that I'm like, I always just want to play with Steven. There's something natural about me that gravitates
I feel that
to
way
Steven.
too, Sam. I feel that you could be gaslighting me already, but like
no, I would love
like
to be aligned.
your videos. I was editing the videos from the last time, and I was like, I like the way Sam approaches the logic of the game. I am good. I'm a goodie. I'm a town, and I'm willing to do a 3 for 3 if that seems appealing to you.
Yep, I'm willing to do that as well.
All right. What is your 3?
My 3 is Philo,
okay,
artist, or seamstress.
Okay, so they're all like the once per gamers.
Correct.
I mean, so if you are one of those 3, have you used it yet?
I have not.
Okay. I am I'm a homework role, which are Flower Girl, Mathematician, and Town Crier. You know, the ones that gotta like keep track of. So like, let's get some nominations out there. Let's have people voting, so that like just get the information fire hose flowing.
Helpful for me to be active in that or not active in that for your
Yeah, well, of course.
sake.
I mean, obviously we're having a nice little chat now, but you know, for all I know, you're a baddie. But also,
Sure.
but also I think it like gets the conversation going. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was a philosopher, and I actually decided to use my power on night 1 to become the mathematician, and I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to determine how the amount of misinformation was in the game, and therefore try to narrow down the demon type. And so I got a mathematician 0.
So Vortox or Fengu? Probably. Just not Nodashi.
Not Nodashi, and also Vigor Mortis would have had to kill somebody in order to poison someone. So
all we know is it's in Vortox you'd be getting wrong information.
Yeah,
anyways,
so the
right?
Vortox is kind of like a negative positive thing. Like a Vortox would get a 0 or any number. Like it could give me like 99 off of a Vortox, but he's not going to give me that.
Okay, nice. I am not the actual mathematician. So from my mind, good use.
Good.
Yeah,
and if there is a real mathematician, you can filter that information around because almost certainly their information is wrong.
I'm inclined to trust you. I am a once per game ability, so I am one of the bottom 5 here on the bottom of the Grim. So that is seamstress, philosopher, artist, juggler, or sage. And I guess if we believe Christian and you believe yourself, I am not the philosopher. So seamstress, artist, juggler, or sage.
I am a each night star character. So haven't gotten information yet, but am looking to get some today. So I'll be curious if your information changes, Christian.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I can definitely let you know that. All right.
Okay. Productive.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Take Oracle.
Okay.
I am a townsfolk. Are you a townsfolk?
I'm a townsfolk, yes!
Can we make it work for once in our lives?
Yes, yo, I actually had the thought to myself, like, I always don't trust you, and I really want to work on that. So even if it's, like, bad for me this time, I would like to try it.
Okay, all right, that could be something you're just saying to, like, bring me in as your, like, evil plots.
Yeah, you know what, and that could be. But in this case, it is not. I'm good, I swear.
I'm a little suspicious of you already, for no good reason, but that's our way. That's how it has to be between us.
Do you want to do we want to do this, or do you want to just be
Let's just try. I want to do it. I want to try. I'm gonna try this one last time. Okay. I'm gonna put it on the line for you. Okay. I am. I'll give you 3. How about that?
Oh, fabulous. I'll give you 3 as well.
All right. I am a homework role, which would include, mathematician, flower girl, and town crier. So, the ones that they're all like keeping track of the numbers, putting stuff together. We want a lot of nominations out there, but not too many nominations. We want people voting, but not everybody voting. We want people using their abilities, but occasionally incorrectly.
I love that. I love homework. That's great. Okay. We've got a little homework overlap. My 3 that I'm going to give you are mathematician, seamstress, and juggler.
Oh, so if you are the seamstress, have you used it yet?
I've not used it yet.
Great win in episode 3 for us, so it's good to
Yeah,
talk
let's
to
do
you.
it again, but for town this time.
I want to like go into a game just like having a slight blind trust towards some people, you know, because
How about
especially
you
in
just
S&V,
tell me your
like,
role then? I love that. You should just trust me.
I want to, but I'm gonna hold off a little bit. But
Do it. Just trust me. It's good.
No,
I'm good. I'm good this time, I promise.
I have info that I got day 1, and
Okay.
I'm never getting my info again, which means
Okay.
that I'm an easy kill, but I'd rather stay alive because I'm good and upvote for good. But then on the other hand, it's like, why is evil gonna waste a kill?
Yeah.
Like, evil could waste a kill on me because but
Yeah. Okay, this isn't my information, but I have heard information that points to like all the information on first night was good information. Like basically
oh yeah, no one
so
worked
I think
wrong.
like yeah, your info is like probably good or
Okay.
it's Vortox and everyone's is wrong.
Okay.
I am an each night star role. I'll hard claim to you, Marianne, and not to anyone else. If
Okay.
that's fine with
Yep.
you. So I am Oracle. I'm going to like
Okay.
probably bluff to other people, like a town crier.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's like the less powerful.
Okay. And of course, I'll give it back because I had nothing to hide. I'm the clockmaker. I already got my
Okay.
information, so I'm not telling people my clockmaker information yet. But if
Okay.
people know from the clockmaker, the evil people inherently know. I'm still deciding.
Yeah.
I'm searching to see if I can bring more pieces. I haven't told anyone
Yeah.
what number I got, but I'm most likely
Okay.
going to go and like as I build and get
Yeah,
more
yeah,
info,
yeah.
try to build a web. Especially because if there's no added minions, which I don't think so, there's only one minion and one evil person, which means that as soon as we get one and we figure it out, we can boom, get
Very
another
easily.
immediately. Exactly.
Love it. Yes, Marianne,
Yeah.
we're gonna solve this game.
We really- it's gonna be-
especially if I stay alive too. You
Okay.
and me, like we can crack this thing wide
Okay.
open because I'll know once like the minion dies.
I think it's actually a good idea for me to come out with my information
Okay.
pretty
Oh,
early.
let's hear it.
It's very in for that.
So and it's important also because it can affect the information around town because I'm the philosopher. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to use my power night 1. I think for good. So
Okay.
because I decided to take the mathematician ability because I wanted to know what kinds of demons could be in play.
Okay.
Because it determines how much misinformation might be
Right.
floating around. So I got a mathematician 0 on the first night.
So what does that mean?
Okay.
So that means that that means if you had an ability,
not a
everyone who had an
Vortox
ability,
game.
it was not poisoned. And also, it could still be a Vortox because keep in mind the Vortox could give me a 0 because the Vortox information gives me wrong, right? But like it means that no one's poisoned,
Okay.
for instance, right? I mean,
Okay.
so the Vortox thing is tricky with the logic. I was trying to think it through, but I think there still can be a Vortox.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
because your math info would be wrong, and
Correct.
So
The,
there
tr-
could
the,
be a
the true
Vortox,
information will be some large number, presumably,
but it's not. We're thinking
has to
there's
give-
no. That's not a Nodashi game though. In that case, because there's no minions
Right.
that are poisoned.
Right, and you might say Vigor Mortis, but Vigor Mortis would have to kill someone to activate the poison.
Yes, and they have to
it
die
could still
overnight.
be that. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I guess
exactly.
I guess it theoretically could be Nodashi as well, but it would just have to be next to 2 people who didn't have a ability that they used, right?
Yeah, and correct.
What I told Omer, I'm fine telling you too as well, Christian, is that I am a once per game role, and I have not used it yet.
Okay.
And I am a role that's more valuable early to mid game and not that valuable late game. So I don't care if I make it to the final 3, like some people here.
Okay, so is that like first night information? You don't have to give me more than
Doesn't
that.
matter.
But
Doesn't
that's what I'm
matter if
thinking.
you get there. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you get there if you don't win. Omer.
Doesn't.
That's
No,
come on.
fair point.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a goodie. Are you a baddie?
I'm a goodie. Very excited.
Okay. All right. I sort of believe you. Are you an outsider, Claire? You don't tell me obviously because you don't want to go telling people that.
Of course not.
are you?
No,
Are you?
I am not.
Yeah.
I am not an outsider.
All right. I'm a goodie. Can you want to give me 3?
I will give you all of the each night star rolls.
Each night,
so
that
so
includes
Flower Girl, Town Crier, or Oracle.
Okay. And that also includes obviously the pit hag and the demons.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Yes.
right.
Inclusive.
Yes.
Barber, perhaps.
Yeah. I am also going to give you the homework rolls. So that is mathematician, Flower Girl, Town Crier. How about that? So we got a lot of overlap here.
Mathematician, Flower Girl, Town Crier. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh,
Look who it
Emily.
is. Now you want to talk.
I do want to talk to you. God damn it. Anyone else free? Anyone, please. Are you going to double claim me today?
Yeah, there's a really good chance. So
great.
tell me what you are, and then I'll tell you what I am.
Okay. I'm something called the Fang Goo.
Oh my gosh, no way. Me too. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love that. Okay, do you have anything? I'm a townsfolk. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I'm happy to do a 3. I'm happy to give you like a general sense of the vibe of my role.
I
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I will. I'm happy to give you 3. If you'd rather do vibes, I'm fine with that too. I wasn't prepared for vibes. My vibes are like, meh. I am a once per game ability, and I will give you either the seamstress, the artist, or the juggler.
Oh, fabulous! My 3 are seamstress, juggler, and mathematician.
Amazing.
I will be juggling today. I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
Are you the mathematician by chance? Because if you are, I have some relevant info for you.
I don't know if I should say right now, but let's talk about it tomorrow.
I think you should tell me if you are right now.
I'm not.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Why? Is that you?
No. That would be interesting if you were, but it wouldn't mean that you're bad, but I would just, if you were, you would want to know.
Welcome back, everybody. In a moment, I'm going to open nominations, but before that, I would like to give people an opportunity to use abilities that require sort of public things and private things, such as jugglers and artists and the like. So would anyone like to do any of that? Yes, Owen.
I would like to juggle myself as the juggler, Franny, Christian, Sam, and Claire as the Vigor Mortis, please.
Okay. Franny?
I would like to juggle myself as the juggler, Fishback and Owen both as the Vortox, and then Christian and Omer both as the Nodashi.
Okie dokie. Fishback?
I would like to juggle Emily Flippin as all 4 demons.
Okay. Emily?
I would like to juggle. No, I'm teasing. I would like to juggle Franny as the witch, Ceranovis, pit hag, Fangu, and Vigor Mortis.
Okay.
Whoa!
And Omer?
I would like to juggle that Marianne is my evil twin, a witch, a pit hag, and then Emily and Claire are gaslighters. That's what I'd like to do.
Okay. Christian?
I would like to juggle Omer as the clockmaker and myself as the philosopher.
Cool. All right. Any more for any more?
Okay, wait a minute, Christian. Why are you juggling yourself as not the juggler if you're juggling?
The philosopher.
I thought all of us were jugglers. I'm so confused.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say nominations are open. Omer?
I would like not to nominate Emily, but first ask her a question. Emily, you famously, in the last game, were a massive gaslighter liar, and that's why I didn't accept your chat. I would like to know what you wanted to request me for, because I didn't want to do it in private.
My intention behind sending out 6 message requests, getting rejected for every single one of them except for Claire, thank you, Claire, was to immediately determine the person that I found most suspicious, which I hope my little juggle there made clear was Franny. Franny's on notice.
Is that based on anything or just, negative
based
vibes
on
towards Franny?
absolutely nothing except for vibes.
Bad vibes.
Franny
Franny,
said she
bad
was
vibes.
not. Franny said she was not suspicious of me, which makes me suspicious of her.
I'll nominate Franny for sure. Right now, Francis Marin.
Okay, Omer nominates Franny and dies. Tell us why, Omer.
Oh, the witch! Oh my God, the witch!
Classic.
Wow.
Omer, you should have known better.
Obviously, they're gonna witch curse you,
better.
Omer.
I forgot about the. Well, we have a witch.
Rookie mistake.
What I should have said is I would nominate, but I know I'm gonna die, so I'm not. But Francis Marin,
But it's
who
good
would
info,
have
though.
done this potentially. I'd like to say that once upon a time. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
I
once
hear you
upon a
spitting
time.
lies, but go ahead.
Once upon a time on a podcast with a guy named Rob, who has a podcast, Franny famously proclamated across the whole entire world that she hated and did not believe in social deduction games. She wouldn't be caught dead playing them because that she's just such a bad liar. And here she is on every Clocktower stream, and Emily thinks she's suspicious. What's up with that?
Franny?
Well, thank you, Omer, for pointing that out. Big shout out to Blood on the Clocktower for changing my mind, because at that time that was a true statement. So, thank you, Pandemonium Institute. Thank you, everyone involved. I have done nothing wrong except talk to Emily Flippin today, which was a big mistake. Emily, famous for either being evil or being good and wrong. So, you can decide how you want to approach this. I don't think I'm the most valuable townsfolk in this game, but if you really want to execute somebody here and you want it to be me, I will accept with a good attitude. But I don't think that
for the witch curse.
Why wouldn't they choose you?
Why? Who would do such a thing?
We should put it on the block because we do have to execute someone in case there's a Vortox.
So I do what I think I agree with you, Steve, and I'll bring up information that's more because not relevant to this
Let's just
execution.
get the memo.
Exactly.
So it is worth noting for the benefit of our viewers as well, there is a demon on this script called the Vortox, and part of their ability is if no executions occur, the evil team wins. So, I mean, hey, you could see if there's no Vortox by not executing anybody. Not sure I would recommend that strategy, though. 4 votes is the minimum required if you wish to execute Franny.
Semi-relevant, but I did think that Fishbach was also evil based on the fact that they chatted for so long. So his willingness to go for this vote does make me a little
we genuinely
feel like
did
maybe
not
I
chat
was
very
wrong.
No, we just tried to connect.
So
we were really just trying to work together for the first time in our lives. Yeah.
Christian?
So I do want to put out something to the town. I talked about this to a couple people in the very few private chats. Thank you for letting me in. I was like the 9th wheel that didn't get let in. So I'm the philosopher, okay? And I actually used my ability on the first night because I wanted the mathematician role. Because I thought the mathematician would be a useful way of narrowing down whether or not there's misinformation coming from a demon. So I wanted to put this out there publicly in case there is a mathematician. I want you to know that your information is drunk. Okay, and I got a mathematician 0, which means no misinformation in terms of powers, which would indicate to me no Dashi. There could be a Fangu. There could be Vigor Mortis that has not yet procced their minion yet, or it could still be a Vortox because the misinformation would then be canceled out by the Vortox ability. So the Vortox is still on the table.
Owen?
I was going to nominate, but Fish, if you had a follow-up to that, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where you're next to a Nodashi, Christian.
Has anybody heard of an outsider claim?
Do you want to make that nomination,
Outsider
Aaron?
wants to be evil.
2 outsiders.
Yes. I know Franny said she's okay dying, but I'll nominate Omer just in case we want to just do a Vortox satisfaction and execute a dead body.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. Omer?
I got good vibes from Franny, so I'd prefer Omer, but either way, and Franny sounds like a good guy.
Pissed. Desecrate my body more. I don't care what you do anymore.
I'm team
Okay.
this.
If you would like to execute Omer's corpse, you will need 5 votes.
We need 5.
I think
I'd
don't
like this-
tie it.
I would like
better
this
to
to
do
go
me than
through
to-
people.
Franny,
because
will
we
you
already
vote on
lost
this,
one
Franny?
person.
No, we're good. We're good right
I'll
there.
get your 5.
Yeah.
I think
We're good.
5
got
is
it.
enough for Omer's corpse.
Yeah.
So are we all okay with that? I don't like that.
So, Steven, the other thing I would say is that it would be weird to put the Nodashi in a position where they would not be affecting people's roles. I guess technically, if there was one information, that would be true.
But it's a random
But
place.
it's random. But it's
a random seat.
Emily, as to your comment, we already lost one person, and I don't have enough information about you or about like Franny for the vibe to be willing to lose 2 people at one night, which is why I'm fine with executing. And I think
Claire keeps putting her hand up. Claire, did you want to say something?
Sorry. Well, that was before Marianne made that great point. I'll put Marianne on the block, though. Sorry, Marianne.
Okay, Claire nominates
That was a
Marianne.
very valid point. Just conversation. Just for conversation. Because we talked, and you were like, I think it probably is fine if I die. Just wanted to throw out. But you are right. I don't think we necessarily should go through it.
I actually think
Sorry,
this is
Marianne.
a very good choice. No offense to Marianne. The reason for that, though, there's a good reason for it. I swear there's a good reason. I wanted to work with you this time, and I still do. I swear to Gigi I do. But my thought is that I was the dreamer, and I chose Mary Imp as like a let's work together by getting some information on her. And the good role I got was actually what she claimed to be, so I do tend to believe it. However, the bad role was the Fangu. And so if we have the chance to just get out even a possible Fangu, why not?
No. Defense. You're gonna tell me the one time I actually go to try to trust you, we have someone who's already dead, and you're now gonna kill me for funsies when good can prevail?
It's not for funsies. It's
the
because
game isn't gonna. No, if you kill me, we just lost another good person. I swear, if you kill me, you're gonna lose
it's just
another
one
good
person, though. It's for the greater good.
And then it should have been Jackie. It's not.
I have a. Can I say something pertinent? If you picked at night, even if Marianne was the Fangu, there would only be a 33% chance that she picked the correct bluff that you saw as her good roll.
Yeah. Did you say, Omer, the roll to her first?
No,
or did
she said it
say
first.
to you?
Like,
And they
I
were
do
the first
actually
combo.
believe her, but it's just like in the off event where she is the Fangu, we could end it right now.
No,
that's bad
this
content.
is literally killing me for fun. This is actually Omer dying. This is Omer dying and being like, you know what? Let me just take down Marianne for fun with it. No,
Okay. I'm gonna step in and run the vote here, guys. It's gonna require 6 votes, which is quite a lot. So you probably won't make it, but you never know. Here we go.
This is to Omer.
I just like to be contrarian. Now I really want to make the vote just because we technically can.
Oh my god.
You can throw your hand up.
I just thought that would be an
Okay.
epic way for us to win together.
0 is not enough. I think it's unlikely you'll top the 6 you've got. So unless I hear any other nominations, I'll call it in 5. 4.
Has anyone here? Okay, rumors of an
3.
individual outsiders. We don't have to say who they are.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, the
1.
pit head would like to know.
Omer's corpse is executed. Everybody goes to sleep.
So Franny came to me first, and she said exactly what I thought she was going to say. We are good buddies in real life, and I think she feels bad about how easily she can just yank my chain and lie to me, and I just believe her just because she's my friend. And so sometimes when we play offline or on these games, she avoids me like the plague if she is evil, because she knows it hurts me a little bit when she lies to me. So I am inclined to believe her.
I was this close to being executed, and then Owen, who's trying to be a good friend, put somebody else up on the block. Okay, fine. Great friend. I appreciate that. Let me die. I'm not a juggler. I don't even know what's happening here. The name of the game today is convincing people that I was the juggler. So here's what I'm gonna do. I juggled myself as the juggler, I juggled Fishback and Owen as the Vortox, and I juggled Christian and Omer as the Fangu. Clearly Omer is not the Fangu, otherwise the game would have ended. Christian I really don't think is the Fangu because he came forward with his philosopher info. So, I'm gonna say that I got a 1 on myself as the juggler.
Okay, so I juggled Franny as the Witch, Ceranovis, Pit Hag, Fangu, and Vigor Mortis. So if I don't die tonight, I should get a number back, either a 0 or a 1, telling me how many rolls I got accurate. Since Franny can only be 1 roll, it's either going to be a 1 or 0. But I need to keep in mind that that information still could be wrong if it is a Vortox game or if I'm sitting next to a Nodashi. So I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind, but I'll be interested to see what number number I get here.
Christian's claim of being the dreamer into the mathematician, why would you out that on the very first day, guaranteeing, you're a target for the demon? I wonder if that is misinfo from him. It could be a bluff. He could be Sage, who's trying to get killed. So I'm a little suspicious of that. Christian is not someone to just come out and say, I'm a big info roll, come kill me.
The thing I don't like is I came out so vocal as there not being an Odashi. I thought that was a direct outcome of the mechanics, but Stephen pointed out correctly, it's not that simple. Stephen Fishback is always an interesting frame. He has the curse of the nerd guy. He's got the curse of the nerd.
If Christian is telling the truth, which I'm not sure about at all, I don't know if I should believe Christian or not. But if he is telling the truth, Marianne and Omer are theoretically good together, because Omer being witched leads me to believe that Omer was good. Could he be the minion? Could he have witched himself and died on purpose? Is that crazy? Like, for him to be the minion that witched himself and died, and Marianne is the demon that Omer is protecting? Because it was a little bit out of left field for Omer to just come out and say, I trust Marianne hardcore to me, when Omer never trusts Marianne hardcore. If I was the dreamer, I would not nominate. Nominating when you're the dreamer, when you know that there could be a witch in the game, is ludicrous. So I don't know why Omer does that. Omer's too smart to make a mistake like that. That makes me think there could be some funny business at play. I need to talk to Marianne, need to talk to Emily and Owen and Claire. Claire is always bad. Claire is always bad. I genuinely don't know if I've ever played a game of Blood on the Clocktower where Claire was not sitting with a red token. Happens every time. Maybe Claire is the witch who thought it would be very funny to witch Omer. That's the hard part about Omer being the one that dies to the witch curse, is that anybody could have been the one to witch Omer. Omer could have been the one to witch Omer. Everybody finds it hilarious for Omer to die from a witch curse, and so I think I wouldn't put it past anybody to do that.
And just like that, he fell right into my trap. He fell into my witch's cauldron, my brew, my Omer stew, if you will.
I'm pissed! I can't believe that. That's crazy. I knew better. I literally said before this game, don't nominate because of the witch. And I just forgot. Foolishly, here we are, dead, dying, crying. And then Marianne being a little bit selfish. There's no reason to keep your clockmaker ass alive. You could have been in Ponderosa with me, but you took it as a personal attack, and that's a big mistake.
So you're telling me the one time I go and I trust Omer, oh, he just wants to go and kill me for funsies. Literally hate this man. Quite literally. You can't trust him. You can't trust him. I was willing to work with him. I trusted him even though he didn't tell me jack all. No, I am pissed OWF. Pissed off. Pissed off. Omer actually dying is very, very good for me, because now I have someone I trust. Because I do think that Omer was the dreamer, and 2 steps away from Omer is Sam. But you might be like, okay, what about the other 2 steps away of Sam? Could that be a minion or the demon? And no, because that's me, the clockmaker. Which means that if Omer is good and I am good, Sam by definition must be good. So my goal is for tomorrow to immediately talk to Sam and tell him that I trust him completely. And it was great because we were going to talk tomorrow anyways that we spent last night, and really go and see if we can bring this information together and figure it out.
Ben, I want to start with the beginning of the round and all of the juggler claims. Can you just explain why everybody did that?
Yeah, so if only one person juggles, then the demon probably will easily know who the juggler is, and then they'll just kill the juggler that night before they get their information, because there is an order of operation at night, and the juggler wakes after the demon. So if it's obvious who the juggler is, the demon's almost certainly just going to snipe them so that they never learn anything. So oftentimes lots of players will pretend to do a juggle to cover up who the real juggler is.
Now, the town ultimately executed Omer's corpse to be able to avoid losing the game to Vortox, are they able to execute his corpse again, or only just that once?
Yeah, you can nominate and execute anybody, living or dead. The Vortox requires you to execute, otherwise you lose the game. So it's not uncommon for people to execute corpses. A comment that I often see, particularly from newer viewers and players, is, well, what's the point of the Vortox if you can just execute a corpse? But the truth is, you really shouldn't execute corpses. Every day that you execute a corpse is a day that you didn't execute a living evil player. Every day that you execute a corpse is a day that you didn't cross somebody off the list. If they'd have executed Franny, she could have come out and said, hey, I'm the mutant, and that's a big part of the puzzle already solved. So that is actually a perfect example of where, yes, you can execute a corpse if you really don't want to kill a living player, but in over 50% of situations, it's usually a good idea to execute a living player. You only get a certain number of opportunities to do it, and with Omer's death, those number of opportunities already reduced. So to then execute his corpse, they've learned nothing from today's execution.
Okay, Ben, how do we start getting information to these players now?
Okay, well, let's get Claire in here for some witchery. Okay,
One
Claire,
for
you're
one.
1 for 1. Can you go 2 for 2?
Well, that one's such a gimme.
That was the free space on the bingo card.
Yeah. He just fell right into the trap,
surest
though.
bet on the board.
Yeah. It's hard. I don't know what Demon Christian is. So I want to try to protect him. I have a feeling he's no dashy based off him claiming mathematician. I feel like he's trying to hide that. So I want to hit away from that. Let's go Sam. Let's just kill my neighbors.
Sam. Okay. Sam it is. Thank you.
Who's next?
Christian is next.
Hello.
Hello, Christian. Who do you want to kill tonight?
I would love to talk to you for a quick moment here. Who should I kill? I'm just kidding. All right, so let's see. I think that my fear is hitting a sage. That's my fear, and I'm trying to figure out who actually had the least suspicion on them on this day. In a weird way, Marianne got 0 votes, but also Omer loves to fixate on Marianne. So I don't love the idea of taking off. Basically, whoever I kill is gonna make them look good. I think that I like the idea of killing. I'm going to kill Marianne because then that way I can talk to her, and hopefully build a baseline of trust with her. Hope she's not the sage.
Okay, Marianne it is. Thank you.
I also have another question, a little mechanics question.
Oh, go for it.
Because I'm bluffing the philosopher who took the mathematician's role, and I realized I should have thought a little bit more carefully about the math here. If there was actually another mathematician, and I actually philosophized their role, would I, as the philosopher, go before the other mathematician, and therefore it would not read that their mathematician number is wrong?
Well, first of all, for the benefit of our viewers, the mathematician is a townsfolk whose ability reads, each night you learn how many players' abilities worked abnormally since dawn due to another character's ability. So basically, if someone's ability doesn't work correctly because another character has done something to them, such as poisoned them or made them drunk or some other thing, that registers for the mathematician. And the mathematician goes right at the end every single night and learns that number. And I would consider you two as going simultaneously. And yes, another mathematician that you have made drunk getting misinformation would count for the mathematician. However, it is worth noting, if for some reason, let's say hypothetically, you were the philosopher that went mathematician, and there is a mathematician in play, if I showed the mathematician the truth, that is, even though they're drunk because of you, that's their ability is still not working abnormally because I've chosen to show them the truth. So there is possibility for you to be a mathematician making another mathematician drunk, and for you to both have the same correct number and for it to not register for you as a result of that.
So basically 0 is possible, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good.
There's also worlds where you're poisoned or drunk or something as well, and
correct.
And so your number's just nonsense.
Good. I'd make sure I try to at least reason that out, that 0 makes sense. All right. This is not complicated for me at all. In no way is this complicated for me to figure out and lie about on the fly. So thank you all very much. I appreciate your time. Oh my goodness. Why did I kill my neighbor? I'm the Nodashi. I'm going to play that off as if you think what demon do you think if you think that that her information was poisoned, why would I kill her? She's right next to me. I'll play off the mistake like a strategic play. There we go. That's all you do.
We are now heading to Fishback, our town crier, who is going to learn if a minion nominated today. We had 3 nominations today. There were Omer, Owen, and Claire. So the answer to that is yes. However, Fishback is poisoned, so we can lie and say no. But I'm going to choose to tell Fishback the truth, because if Claire gets caught as a minion, then they will take Marianne's clockmaker number, which is 2, and think that the demon is either Emily and Owen, who are both alive. So this is a situation where actually giving a poison player the truth might yield benefits for the evil team.
Okay.
And also, I think it's a nice little balanced thing there. And finally, you have to be careful lying constantly to the neighbours of a Nodashi, because they'll just figure it out. So I'm going to give Fishback the truth tonight. Perhaps tomorrow night we'll give him a lie.
Here he is.
Oh, I'm so sad. I'm crying.
I don't think it's that kind of cry yet.
Oh, yeah. I thought it.
Yeah, it's like, hear ye, hear ye.
Okay, well, hear ye, Fishback, because have you taken note of who nominated yesterday?
I did. It was Omer, now dead, Owen, and Claire.
Okay, well, I'm here to tell you that yes, one of them is a minion.
Or I'm drunk, or I'm poisoned, or I'm next to a Nodashi, or it's a Vortox. Okay, but I'm getting a yes. That's interesting. That's that's interesting. Okay.
All right, cool.
Just as you expected. Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, we are getting Emily in here. She juggled Franny as a bunch of evil things, and so Emily is going to learn as 0 because none of them were correct.
Here she is, a woman who's juggling so much, looking for answers.
That's your cue to be like, yes, I am juggling a lot. Yeah, but,
I am. I'm juggling approximately 5 things right now.
Yeah, and I think they were basically all on Franny, right?
Yeah, I really didn't like my conversation with Franny.
Okay, well, we are here to tell you that of the 5 things you juggled, 0 of them were correct.
Okay. That would track even in a world where it is not a Vortox and I'm not poisoned, because as Franny mentioned, my reads are often incredibly wrong. But I'll just keep that to myself for now, I think.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Save myself the public embarrassment.
You ready to rock and roll?
Is that it for the nighttime? Yeah, let's do it.
That is indeed it for the night. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Good morning, everybody. And as you emerge from your fancily upgraded Tudor cottages, you unfortunately find the corpse of Marianne.
Look what you did!
This wasn't me. I mean, did you Fangu?
You were the dreamer? Love it. Are you willing to say what Marianne's role was now that she's dead?
I already told you in the meeting. It was either Clockmaker or... Oh, no, I didn't tell you in the meeting.
You didn't say...
Clockmaker or Fangu.
Well, I got you to tell me now.
Okay.
And that's why she has a night 1 info roll, so she should just tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, what did she say her clock was?
She didn't tell me.
She didn't tell me.
She said she's not telling anyone.
Okay. I was the juggler. I got a 1, which I think was just on myself juggling myself as the juggler.
And
who all did you juggle?
So I did Fishback and Owen both as the Vortox, which would only I would only like get a yes on that if it was a Vortex game and they weren't the Vortex. I don't know. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy pick, Franny.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
that was crazy.
I forgot that it wasn't like a yes or no, that it's like a number. Anyways, then I did Christian as the Fangu, and this was before he came out with his mathematician thing, which I buy. And then I did Omer as the Fangu, who's clearly not the Fangu.
The thing is, if it is a Vortex game, it's weird I got Marianne as Clockmaker.
Yeah, so I think it's just not.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah, it just can't be a Vortex game.
Yeah. So, and I do, something interesting to note, I buy the mathematician thing. When I talked to Emily, I don't know why she thought I was so suspicious, but in my 3 for 3, mathematician was one of them. And she was like, I need to know right now if you're the mathematician. So I think that Christian must have already told her about that situation. I'm guessing they did a role swap, or not a role swap, but, they told each other their roles. Yeah, I just want to put that out there because I think that sometimes Christian is very, very trusting of Emily, and I want to leave open the possibility that she's evil.
Claire, what do you have to say?
Yeah.
I am Oracle, and I got a 0. So in my eyes, Omer, you are cleared.
Yeah. I think you're. I think
trying
you're
to
totally
butter me
clear
up?
because you wouldn't witch curse yourself.
I think it
and
would
if you
be
were the demon, it would be
crazy. It would be crazy to witch curse yourself, and the only person you got info on would be Marianne.
Hey.
Hey.
I 0 again. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good or bad. I don't depending if it's a Vortex or not.
Okay. Yeah.
At least it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent.
It's better than a 1, which is what I was afraid you're going to tell me.
Okay, yeah.
I was a juggler.
Yes. What'd you
So
get?
I got 0.
Okay.
So I had juggled Franny as the witch, Cernobis, Pit Hag, Fangu, and Vigor Mortis.
Oh, okay. So she's pretty cleared here. So okay, all right.
Unless
that's
it's
great.
a Vortex world, in which case she's
the Vortex.
definitely not.
Yeah, that's that. So that does leave that possibility open. Obviously, we got to execute somebody today. We could do a dead body.
We can always kill me now that I've been used.
Yeah.
But I would really rather try to find the demon. But if needed, I can die.
Yeah, so I think Steven had a good point. I forgot a couple of the outs of how there could still be a Nodashi. I maintain. I don't know. Maybe I just wanted this. Maybe I just really wanted the mathematician ability to really work well. So I forgot about that part.
What are you, Owen?
I don't know if I want to say. What are you?
Well, give me some info, because you really were quick to take it off Franny there.
Yes, because I was inclined to trust her. I don't know if I should say. It's not.
All right, well, give me something. Give me 3.
The 3 I will give you are juggler.
Well, are they an accurate 3? I mean, we're day 2. No messing around here. This is no day 1. Feeling each other out. We're going.
Okay,
we're going to the meat of it.
You know what, Stephen? Listen here, buddy. I've not. I haven't told anyone my role yet because it would be detrimental to town, and I will let you.
So you're claiming to be an outsider.
Yes, and that is what I will tell you.
Or you just got Fangu jumped. Yeah. Okay.
No, and I've not told anyone that. I've been consistent in what I've told other people. And I literally said last night, I'm gonna tell X or Y person my true role. And you were not on that list because we did not.
Not the mutant, obviously. Not the mutant.
No.
All right, Owen. I'll tell you why I'm suspicious of you here, and I'm gonna tell only you why I'm suspicious of you, which is maybe foolish to tell one. Maybe I won't do that. No, I'll tell you, I'm a homework role. I'm either the mathematician, the town crier, or the flower girl, and I have information that implicates you.
Okay, so my guess is that you are the town crier.
Are the town crier, and you're one of 3 people who nominated yesterday,
and
including
if you
Omer, who's dead, Owen, and Claire.
Okay.
I got a yes.
So to me, that screams Claire.
That's right.
Because
you were the one that lifted off Franny, who I do have a little suspicion.
That's fine. If we want to keep Franny in your pocket as potential demon later, as keep that world open, that's fine. I totally understand why.
Oh, Franny is demon.
Franny is demon. You're saying I'm minion protecting my demon. Totally see that world, but myself as okay. You know what? Let's do this, Steven. You're hard claiming town crier to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the barber. And I've not told anyone that I'm an outsider. I've not told anyone my role. And I feel a little backed into a corner here, but that's fine because I want to work with you. I want us to be on the same page. So certainly, in the back of your mind, keep the world, keep the world that Franny and I are the evil team together. But to me, in my worldview, Claire is the minion.
So and I'm open to that, but let me ask you a request, okay? Mm-hmm. So you're the only person I'm telling you the town crier.
I will not share this. I will not share this.
If Claire nominates, don't nominate, and if Claire doesn't nominate, nominate, okay?
Heard.
unfortunate that I'm dead. I have
Yeah.
reason to believe that you are good, based
Great.
on my information.
I also had reason to believe that you were good. That's why I wanted to talk to you. But unfortunately, we're nowhere close now. What were you?
Okay, I was the clockmaker, and I got 2. And because Omer died, and I do believe that he was the dreamer, and you're 2 away from me and from
Then I'm
Omer
good.
by default,
Well,
you were good.
I don't know what I should do with this information now because it's not super useful. I was the seamstress.
Okay.
Or I guess I am still the seamstress. I'm not dead. You are. I did use it night 1, and I went for you and Omer. I wanted to figure out if you guys were on the same team, and so I got a yes on you and Omer. So I was I was a little bit sussed out. I actually did not put it past Omer to witch kill himself just so that he could hard clear you, and I was like, this doesn't mean Marianne's good all the way. And now I think you're certainly probably good all the way.
Well,
so
that sucks because it really is. Maybe I can trust these exact 3 people and these exact, and then boom, boom.
Pretty much the only one clear. So
Yes.
I need to take in information.
I'm inclined to believe that Marianne is whatever good character. Although I'm confused because Claire, Marianne said to me she gets recurring information, which I thought was weird. And then Claire kind of indicated that she had said the opposite to her. And I'm happy to give you...
I can clarify that later, but I need you to tell me yours, because I'm confirmed good, so I need everything.
See,
and I'm not going to disseminate information from you to other people, but I need to keep the Grim on my end and keep it secret so that I can see if things are lining up towards the end of the game.
Okay. I've not told...
And so part of that is not giving away Marianne's role.
Okay, that's fair, and I respect that. I will tell you I am an outsider. I shan't say which. Okay.
Oh, this is great for you, Emily. I think you should trust Sam, because I got Clockmaker 2, and Sam is 2 between me and Omer, and I have reason to believe Omer was true, which means that Sam, by definition, is good.
Good point. Okay, if your information, if it's not a Vortox world. But
yes, if it's not a Vortox.
I'm inclined to just trust. I'll just tell y'all then. Please don't pass it around. I was actually the juggler.
Okay.
So
what did you juggle?
I juggled Franny as the 3 minions, except for the evil twin, and as the Fangu and the Vigor Mortis.
And
I was told 0. My fear is if Christian's getting 0s, my fear is that it is a Vortox game and my information's bad, which would inherently make Franny good or Franny evil. But I don't want to just automatically jump in and assume that it's a Vortox world without any evidence.
There's no way you're actually the file into math, right? You wouldn't just tell people that.
Why wouldn't I tell people that?
Well,
I think the mistake was I thought it definitely got rid of the Nodashi, but I did not think of the possibility you're talking about where no one actually got poison information.
Or you're next to a Nodashi, which I guess is me or Marianne, so that's not
well. At
me.
that point, it doesn't really matter because I'm poisoned. I'm not giving you information at that point. I don't get unpoisoned.
I'm not out on the Nodashi. I'm just not the roles I have heard of info roles. Yeah. Well, what did you get last night, Salient?
0.
Okay, so the rolls I have heard of info rolls would not have activated on the first night.
Oh, okay.
And all the once per day rolls claim that they were have not used it yet, et cetera, except for you. So okay, and
also here's the other thing: if I get killed or something, if I get outed and I get killed, because of this, then the other mathematician, if there is one, they get their power back.
A lot of people are putting mathematician in their 3s. I'm going to tell you my 3 are mathematician, town crier, flower girl. I'm a homework role. Okay.
Okay, math, flower, and what was the other one? What was the third one?
Math, flower, town crier.
Town crier.
Now, tell me who are you suspicious of?
So Owen's pretty quiet. I was
that
a little.
Could just be outsider though. I mean, we don't know.
He could be the outsider. But try and solve the game. If Sam doesn't start trying to solve the game soon, I would say he's pretty quiet. Omer was pretty sketchy with his role. Sam says he's a once per game ability. So it's more. I think that it was weird that Emily Flippin just suddenly threw Franny out there under no suspicion at all.
I got a weird vibe off Franny too, to be honest. And then the fact that we had it on Franny and then it was off Franny is also a little weird to me.
I don't know. I thought I was pretty convinced. That's why I tried to take her off the block.
Franny.
I'm the juggler.
Oh.
So I'm happy to die today. I got a 1, and I think it was just on me juggling myself.
So
because the other things that I did were Owen, you and Fishback as the Vortox, which on reflection was a stupid thing to juggle. I've been told that by several people.
Well, me
and then I did Christian and... Sorry, go ahead.
One of us could be the Vortox, in which case you would have gotten a 2, and then you have to get anything except a 2. Just saying, for your world building purposes.
I can't think through that. I'm going to assume there's no Vortox.
Because I'm not. I'm not.
I really,
and I
It's a
don't
dark
think it's
place
Steven.
for your head to go.
Yeah, I really, if we trust what Omer said, that he's Dreamer and he got Marianne as Clockmaker, and she's saying she is Clockmaker, and she claimed it, like, it can't be a Vortox.
Do we know her
I'll move
number?
forward with that. She hasn't shared it, I don't think.
Got it.
So
Got it.
I would like to die today. I just want to say.
Do you want to just hard claim?
Yeah, I'll hard claim. Yeah.
What's your read? Okay.
Well, you go first because I'm a little suspicious of you.
Okay, that's fine. Oracle with a 0.
Oracle 0. Okay. All right. I am going to tell you I am the flower girl with a yes. But then
You sound like you're lying, Fishback.
Yeah, no, I'm lying. I'm lying because I'm a little suspicious of you. I'm a little bit. There's the gong. So there's the gong.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, if anyone wants to say anything or do any philosopher juggling or anything of the sort, now is the chance to do it. Go for it,
Mine is
Marianne.
important to game. I just want everyone to know that Christian was asking to join me many times, and I felt bad, so I finally left so I could talk with Christian, and then he immediately ditched me. So I want everyone to know that.
Oh, no.
You're on notice.
My browser disconnected.
Okay. I was like, that's so sad. That's all.
Marianne, what were you other than the Fangu?
I was the Clockmaker.
Okay, would you share your clock info?
It's crazy that she's not sharing it when that only helps evil.
Yeah,
No,
at this
I've
point, there's
shared
no
it.
reason not to share it.
Okay. It's because if I share it, it puts someone at risk, and I like the
demon
Well,
it puts at risk.
Okay, I'll share it. I'll share it because the person said they were willing to die, but I will, and that's why. So I was the Clockmaker, and I got 2. Okay, so
that literally could be almost anybody on the table right now. So why is it so suspicious?
So this is what I have. So confirmed good is me. I'm inclined to believe Omer. And then also, because Omer and I are both good, that means by definition Sam must be good. Because his neighbors are good. Does that make sense to people?
His 2 aways.
If we believe that you
away
are
are me and
good,
Omer.
yes.
I like it.
Sam! Yes!
Yeah, I was hesitant because I'm worried now about Sam in the night.
I mean, unless you're next to a Fangu, Marianne, in which case
I don't think I am because my
Dashi.
information has
I'm sorry, no
corroborated-
Dashi. That's what I
Yes.
meant. That's what I meant.
My information that I have corroborates with Sam's information that he based on like vibes and what he's said to other people. So it's either Emily and Christian and Franny, Fishback and Owen and Claire, or Claire and Emily. That's just the
Nominations are open.
Can I just put a question? Can I put a question forward to the group? Maybe like even non-verbally, just like a raise of hands, whatever. Can I have the juggler raise their hand?
So what did you juggle?
Yeah, what did you juggle, Franny?
I juggled
what'd you juggle,
Fishback. Yeah, okay. So we've all agreed
Emily,
that it was a stupid juggle, but go ahead. You can go ahead, Sam.
Well, I mean, Emily, is there a reason
Yeah,
that you claim juggler?
Yeah.
It's to hide.
I just want to hear what Franny's...
Emily, it's important to note that Emily and I talked on day 1 and we agreed to double claim each other. So I think that's probably what's happening if you're saying that she's also juggler.
No, it's very chaotic for my world building purposes to have 2 jugglers on the board, but
That's okay. I think we'll resolve it. I juggled Fishback and Owen as the Vortox both. I juggled myself as the juggler, and then I juggled Christian and Omer both as the Fangu. Christian's story, I believe, and Omer is clearly not the Fangu. So
Did you
I got
juggle
one,
us as
so I think it's-
no Dashi?
I'm sorry, I keep confusing the 2. I did do you as no Dashi because I wanted to do the one where they poison their townsfolk neighbors, and I didn't want to do that for somebody who is my neighbor.
Well, we should execute you now,
Second
right?
call for nominations.
Please, I invite it. You know what? I'll nominate myself. Can I nominate myself?
Yeah,
I just
Franny. Tell everyone why you
Yeah.
nominated yourself.
The reason that I've nominated myself is because I don't want somebody else to be witch curse killed for nominating me. But I'm a spent juggler. I have no further utility. And honestly, if people are going to be suspicious of me, I'd rather be dead.
I think we should at least put this on the board.
Yeah. So
we've got 4.
Right?
Okay.
Well, we shouldn't count. We shouldn't count on Franny for it.
If you want to execute Franny, you will need 4 votes minimum.
Franny, it's crazy that you're gagging for your death.
You
now,
keep your head
but
up, Steven.
not when I did it to you.
Wait, don't vote yet.
Only 4. Only
Franny.
4.
Only 4.
5 is enough.
Emily, why are you so hostile to Franny?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I think she has a reason.
It's
I
not-
talked with her.
Well, I don't really have a reason, and it's
I mean,
not Franny.
why is
it's me, okay? It's just I always pick somebody, and I'm just aggressively hostile based off of an inaccurate social read. This happens every single time. It just happened to happen to Franny now.
Yeah,
Can we
remember
not
when you told
overlook
PG to kill
Franny?
herself?
Can we not overlook Franny voting for herself? There's the 5th
that was
vote
odd.
after we say 800 times 4 votes.
That was odd, Francis.
Like had
I don't
plenty
think-
of
I don't
time
think
too.
you
Was the
need to
last
overthink that.
person.
I don't think you need to
I
overthink
am
that.
no. I'm gonna overthink it a lot. I think
But
that was
okay, but can you talk
remarkably
that through,
suspicious.
Sam? What's the reason for if she were bad? What's the benefit to being killed by the town? I don't think there is any on this script.
It's selfish. I don't want to be framed because Emily's gonna hone in on me for the rest of this game. But there's no.
But we
there's
can't
no
afford to
evil-
lose more good people either.
I think this is okay.
I'm
Anyone
not
who
hearing
wants to
any
die,
other
we shouldn't kill.
nominations. I'm going to call
So
I'll nominate
So
Omer.
since I'm already
Owen,
Speak.
tell us why you want to kill Omer's corpse twice.
Science.
It's AAPI month.
I'm
Jesus.
not when this is airing.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't
Good
date
Point.
this.
Touche.
Omer.
Don't vote for
6
this.
votes required if you wish to kill Omer instead.
It's Pride Month, people.
I think we should all be pretty happy with this kill.
No, I agree.
0's not enough. Franny's still about to die.
But
Calling
who
it.
did Marianne Fangu to? I'd like to know.
I
5.
will kill you.
I have reason to
I will
believe.
real life kill you. Actually,
Yeah, I've heard information to suggest that she did not Fangu last night.
3.
because I was never the Fangu
2.
people. And how would I know who the
1.
outsider was?
Franny is executed and dies. Everybody goes to
That
sleep.
did sound evil.
We could be honing in on the evil team. This is like a survivor confessional where you say, I think I'm in a really good place in the game, and then you get voted out. But starting to maybe see shadows of a potential correct world here. So that is where I'm starting to focus in on, but I can't, only tunnel on that. So I got to talk to Fish tomorrow.
Owen nomming there at the last minute makes me trust him a little bit more, because we had a deal that he would nominate. So he's putting himself out there. If I'm alive tomorrow, I think I have to trust him a little bit. The 2 noms were Franny, who nommed herself, and Owen, who nommed. So I'm guessing Franny is not the witch, or she would not have nommed herself. So we're going to get some intel into Owen here. And, if I get a 1 tonight, or a 0, I mean, it basically puts it all on one person.
Obviously, Franny was an outsider there, very likely the mutant. So Franny, I think, just wanted to die so that she could take herself off the board and also prevent a potential Fangu jump. And I think that's the reason why she voted for herself. I think that's the reason why my read on her initially was so sus, was because she was kind of reading bad, because she was an outsider and lying to me.
Woo! Yes! I'm dead, baby! Get me out of this game! Tomorrow, I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I'm gonna tell them exactly what happened because I do want to help solve this game for good. I want us to win. I just much more selfishly did not want to become the Fangu. It was very important to me that I not become the Fangu. That's why I keep Freudian slipping and saying Fangu, because it's the only thing on my mind. It seems like there's a lot of words and thoughts going up on here. No, it's just Fangu, 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 over and over and over again.
Oh my god! This group is pissing me off. These people just lie for no reason. Emily, I don't know what to do with Emily. Emily just blatantly lies. In the one conversation I get to have with her in the game, she says, oh, I'm the juggler, yada yada. It is immediately double claimed by Franny, and then Emily pushes onto Franny. Franny's voting for herself for no reason. These people are either just really chaotic bad players, really chaotic evil players, or they're just kind of wildly chaotic, helpless, good players. And I'm not sure which one it is. So in the world where Marianne is good and Omer is good, now I'm getting good information. If my information is good, then we are to rule out the world where Christian's information is wrong, right? But that doesn't mean that Christian is telling the truth. It could just mean that Christian is bluffing.
Wow, that's so sad. I trusted Sam. Sam trusted me and Omer, and now we're dead. I think Sam's dead tonight.
Ben, was there any benefit for Franny wanting to die in that spot as the mutant?
Yeah, I mean, I completely believe her. She doesn't want to be alive unnecessarily. There's a number of reasons why she wants to die. First of all, it means she can tell everyone that she's the mutant without risk of being executed because dead players don't have their ability. Secondly, she's not going to get attacked by a Fangu, which is a demon who, when they attack an outsider, the outsider becomes the evil Fangu, and the original Fangu dies. And also, she's, being tunneled on by various other people, so crossing her off the list means that she's not going to be alive in the late game and end up losing because they execute her right at the end or something. So, yeah, plenty of reasons for Franny to want to ensure she gets executed. I think it was a very sensible choice on her part.
Okay, all right. And so, is it time to bring Claire back?
It is indeed. Let's see what she does.
No nomination from Sam.
Yeah, he's,
But
you know, I would...
You could get back on a hot streak.
Yeah, you know, Owen loves nominating, huh?
He's going to nominate Omer's dead body every time.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel like I should have nominated there because I think Fishback's getting poisoned flower girl info, so he's like suspicious of me. So I could have done it again, but you know, what can you do? We'll let him keep getting poisoned. Oh, but he might know he's poisoned. Oh well. I will pick. Who's the pin? I'll pick Sam again.
Okay, Sam again. Okay. It is.
I think I'm going to say today that I got an Oracle 1 and paint it as a Fingudrum, potentially, or Vigor Mortis.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing okay. I'm not sure we're doing great. I mean, people are dying. Our minion is still alive, but I'm not sure I'm advancing the ball as much as I want to be. I feel like I just...
With that attitude. How about you think a little bit more like yes, Dashi, okay?
Indeed. No, I just realized these executions are happening, and they are not my minions, so I should count that as a win. I'm so nervous, Rob. I've never been the demon in these games. It's so much pressure, and I'm just worried it's going to come collapsing at any moment, and people will see through my lie. But anyway, I have to kill someone, don't I?
You do indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to kill Emily Flippin. The reason behind Emily Flippin is I really want to earn her trust. I think that this is a great way. Why would I kill her if I thought she was the juggler? We could play this straight, or I could play this fancy. I always wanted to play something fancy, but if I can play it straight, it's the better way to go. I'm going to play it straight. Just keep trying to gain trust. Hope I get down to the end.
Is it time for Stephen Fishback?
It is. So let's take a look. So yesterday, even though Stephen was poisoned, we told him the truth that one of Omer, Owen, and Claire was a minion, and that gamble has paid off for us because today, Franny and Owen nominated, and of course, neither of those is a minion. Claire is the minion.
Yes.
But we can lie to the poison Fishback and say that yes, one of them is a minion, which frames Owen as the witch.
Oh, and Owen is not going to like that. He's going to be very upset.
I'm counting on it. Let's get Fishback in here.
Hello.
Hi, Steven.
Hi. That
bit's sad.
I just had to one last callback.
So, Stephen, did you take note of who nominated yesterday?
I did. Franny nominated herself, probably not a minion. And then Owen, as I requested, I said, if Claire does not nominate, you need to nominate. And if Claire does nominate, don't nominate. So he honored that deal and nominated.
And here we are. You learn that, yes, one of them is a minion.
Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Okay. Thank you. So either I'm getting misinfo, which seems likely, or Ugh. Okay. Or Owen's just bad. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks.
Good morning, Ravenswood Bluff. It's a very sad morning in Ravenswood Bluff because it previously had almost roughly 20% jugglers living here. But now there are just no more of them in town, sadly, because Emily has died in the night.
I want to say something to the whole town, which
You are
is
a mutant.
The mutant.
You're not.
Okay, great.
Muted.
What?
No, I'm mutant. I'm the
No, you're
mutant.
not.
Mutant.
Oh.
You're the
Can I also say something to the
mutant.
town? Can I also say something to the town?
So I just wanted to say I very selfishly wanted to die
Yeah.
because if I became a Fangu, I knew I was cooked because I was already being so flustered and suspicious. So I do apologize for wasting an execution, but I feel great. I'm having a great time.
I think it's good.
Can I say something to the whole town too?
Yeah.
I am the town crier, and I've got 2 nights of town crier information. Day 1, Omer nommed Franny, Owen nommed Omer's corpse, and Claire nommed Marianne. I got a yes. So Omer was witch cursed, probably not the witch. That would be a power move, but night 2 or day 2, Franny nommed Franny. Owen, I had a deal with Owen. I said, Owen, it's either you or Claire are in my ping. So if Claire doesn't nom, you nom. If Claire noms, you don't nom. Owen honored that deal. So Owen and Franny nommed yesterday. I also got a yes. So Owen honored the deal, but I think there's a world where my info is bad, probably because Christian.
It has to be bad. It has to be bad.
Well,
Why would I honor the deal if I knew it was going to expose me?
Well,
like
because
that?
or because
So,
because
I
there's
mean,
a world where
Owen-
you wouldn't want to, but like you
there's
might realize
another
that if you
world-
didn't honor
Wait.
the deal, there's more suspicion on you. But if you did honor the deal, then I could have misinfo. So the
Just
2
wanna say-
worlds are in my mind are Owen is okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Owen could also be the Nodashi, and it skipped over me.
That is a world.
He could. I could see him
Yeah.
thinking like, "Oh, this is gonna make Christian look like the Nodashi." Then I'm off the hook as a potential. Evil
But Claire
person.
is theoretically off the hook for me.
I mean, it's like
Wait,
I'm
town
open-
crier does minion, not demon.
Minion.
Yeah,
right?
just
Okay.
minion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is Vortox off the table? Do we have any confirmed information that Vortox that's gone?
Based on the Omer and Marianne thing that happened of Omer
Yeah.
being Dreamer and getting her role, I don't
I see.
think it can be.
You don't think it's going to be that? Okay.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Christian, why are you still alive?
I assume because I just get zeros all the time. That's what I would assume because it's basically just zeros. What information is that?
I was the seamstress. I am still the seamstress. I told Marianne this a while ago. I did you and Marianne as a seamstress and got a yes on night 1.
Oh, I see.
So I was kind of like that's what I talked to Marianne about yesterday. I'm like literal worst case scenario because I was like you 2 die and I'm like, well shit. Now the 2 people that are dead and like kind of cleared good are whatever. I don't know what to make. So the
We need
Franny
a
Emily
second-
situation, we're supposed to believe Emily's the juggler and then
Franny was the mutant.
Franny's
I think
the
that was
mutant.
pretty kind of obvious.
So Franny is the mutant, is our one outsider, and then that
there's
means
2
that
outsiders,
there's,
right?
or there's 2 outsiders, or there's a vigor mortis, right?
Vigor Mortis does what again?
It takes away an outsider, and minions that you kill keep
Oh
their power.
shit! There's another outsider claim out there, but I don't trust the person that claimed it.
You're saying you're actually good?
Yeah, I'm town crier.
If you are town crier and Owen is bad, Claire is automatically bad.
But Christian could be a Nodashi giving us both bad info.
I don't think so because I've corroborated my info with someone else's info.
Can you help me?
No.
Like I gotta.
No.
I need more
I'm
than that.
I'm sorry. I was mixing it up. The person's info who I corroborated with wouldn't work because I only corroborated. What did I do?
I gotta go.
Yeah, I think you gotta go. But I think in my world though, I think that what I said is true.
Do you remember what I said to you? You said you had reason to lie about your role, and I said, "Yeah,
Yes.
me too."
Yes.
I'm the barber.
Fart. Okay. Oh, yay!
only-
Wait, that's so fun because I said at the beginning I wanted to find my outsider buddy. Okay.
It's me. Okay. The only other person I've told is Steven, but now he thinks that I'm pulling some big brain double reverse.
Okay.
Expose myself. Because, yeah, we made the deal. He said, if Claire nominates, you do not nominate. If she does not, you do, or whatever.
Yeah.
If she does, you don't. So the day was going to end. Daddy Ben was going to put us to sleep, and that hence why I nominated Dead Body. But
so
now I
the
just feel
only
like
two options are that either Fishback is lying or Christian is the Nodashi, right?
yes. I'm trying to think, but then if Christian was Nodashi, then Marianne's clockmaker number would be wrong, and then
So
it's
then
Christian
that-
and Claire.
That would clear Emily, who died at night, which makes sense. I think it's Christian and Claire. And here's the thing. So Claire is claiming Oracle. She claimed that she got a 0 night 1, which is why she trusted Marianne and Omer. I'm curious to hear what she says tonight. She's probably going to say a 1 if she's evil. But
how many alive
this is
do we
actually
have
great.
left?
This is great
5.
because we know it's not a Vigor Mortis. We know that the evil team is probably not going to want to kill each other at night. And so if you trust me, if Claire is saying a 1, then we can pretty easily assume that she's evil.
I got a 1 last night.
Oh, for that, a minion is dead? A minion is dead.
Yeah.
And who died? Franny.
Franny,
Okay.
who's self-nominated, and Emily.
Franny. Oh, so it even includes Emily. It's not the next night. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, if it includes next night and one of Franny, if it's a yes and Franny and Emily, I think we need to kill Christian. And that's assuming that that is assuming that both Fishbuck and I are both not poison. And it's not a Nodashi game, I think.
If it's not an Odashi game and it's not a poisoned.
Because
Okay.
if Emily is evil, that means that either you are evil, which of course you'll be saying you're not evil, or Christian.
Yeah.
And if Franny is evil, that means that it's either Christian who's evil or Omer who is dead. Which means that in both worlds, Christian
Could it
is
be
evil.
Fishback
my
and
information is
Owen
wrong.
together?
Thought
Why can't it be
of-
Fishback and Owen?
My confusion about that
No,
is
but
why
then my
Fishback
Oracle
was
won.
attacking Owen. Because with my only concern with that is that if Fishback is true and Owen is evil, then that means if Owen is evil, that means that by definition it's Owen or Fishback and Owen or you.
Right.
And what's the other one? Yeah, or Christian is evil and both mine and Fishback's information is bad info. Signs are pointing towards if your info is right, it makes complete sense to kill Christian because then we have it in one fell swoop.
So I'm the town crier. What are you, Sam? You're not the Philo.
I'm pointless. I'm the seamstress, but it's
Have you
not
used
great
it?
info.
What is
I
it?
did use it night 1. Marianne and Omer, yes.
Yes, the same alignment.
Yes, same alignment for Marianne and Omer. So I was actually kind of like, did Omer witch himself for a little bit, but I can't build that world anymore. So.
I would go down.
Okay, so look,
you very much would.
There's only 2. So is Emily the actual juggler? Is that right?
That's what she's claiming, but I
Well, she died at night. We have to trust Emily. Let's
No, because she could be the Vigor Mortis minion.
We don't have.
Oh, she could be a vigor kill minion. Yeah. That's true. We could have a
Emily,
vigor.
are
Hi.
you the
Well, so you're the actual
witch?
juggler. What did you actually juggle?
Yeah, I actually juggled Franny as a bunch of things that obviously is irrelevant. I got a 0, which it makes me inclined to think that it's not a Vortox game because my information would have to be
I think it's got to be
must
Fangu
go.
or Vigor Mortis in my
right
eyes.
because if it was a Vortox game, I juggled Franny as all the minions and a demon.
Or not Fangu. No, I think it's a Nodashi or a Vigor Mortis game.
Okay, but just help me through that. That eliminates a world where it is a Vortox, right?
What does? Oh, were you juggling her as things that she isn't? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because you would have to get misinfo. Yeah.
So I'm inclined to, So I think there's not a Vortox world, you're right. It's either Fangu or Vigor Mortis. Probably not Vigor Mortis because those kills don't make sense from a minion perspective. So Fangu, Nodashi.
The reason for a Vigor Mortis is just like there's only 2 outsider claims in the entire game. So unless it's and
I don't know who's claiming the other outsider.
I've heard a second one.
I know a second one
Okay,
too.
you can just tell me. I'm dead. I'm a dead juggler.
Owen has claimed a second outsider. Apparently.
Okay,
Yeah,
that explains
so
it's super cagey.
But so is it Claire Christian then?
There's a world where it's Claire Owen. I mean, that's her clock too. I also think Christian is super suspicious because why would you out of the gate tell people, oh, I file it into math, it's math 0? Like, why would you tell everybody that?
Yeah, I agreed with that when Christian said that off the bat, that it was a little like very much could be untrue.
Hi, one world, Steven. If your info is
Christian is the Nodashi.
No, another world is that Christian's a Nodashi, but another world is that it's neither Claire or I, where you got a false yes on day 1. That it's not necessarily a binary between me and Claire.
You're still alive, Christian.
I am still alive. You know what? I wasn't as surprised because I didn't think that the mathematician was seen as that powerful of a role.
Mm-hmm. I think that there's a vigor mortis.
What makes you think vigor mortis? Because like that, so that would be. Oh no! So why? So because someone's poisoned? You think?
I think that there's a chance Stephen is poisoned.
But he wouldn't be poisoned via Franny's death. She was executed.
I think we cannot. Do we trust Emily as the juggler because there's a world in which she just got minion killed and is still a witch?
Yeah. So if she could still be minion killed, still is a witch, and we would know. Well, actually, we wouldn't know. But that would mean that Sam is almost certainly poisoned, if that's a vigor mortis world.
Right.
Yes.
But his information is useless now, anyways.
So Steven's coming out with this flower girl information. I mean,
I thought he said town crier, but he
sorry, town crier. No. He said town crier. I apologize. I guess mix up those two things. The one where it's about when a minion nominates the town crier, right? Mm-hmm. So he's giving out this information. How much do we believe that info?
Not really, particularly.
Given that it's weird.
But
yeah, especially considering he's cooking up these deals with Owen about it.
I don't trust Owen.
I think that Christian is the Nodashi, and
perfect. They're not the only one. There have been whispers. There have been whispers of that based on information. I think that's great.
Nominations are open.
Can I just share information?
Please do.
I am the Oracle, and I got a 1 last night. So I believe either like Emily, Fingu Jump, Vigor or something.
Emily got vigor mortis. She's still a witch. She's always been the witch. She chose me. She got me killed, and now I pissed at her. And I think her little vigor mortis friend is just above me.
There's not a vigor mortis.
Can I speak now?
There's not a vigor mortis.
And the annoying thing about this is I wasn't going to come for Claire or Omer. So now I feel very inclined to change my story and be all petty. But I just wanted to say, Sam, can I out your stuff? In fact, the fact that you're sitting on it, I think, is silly. Sam is claiming seamstress, who night 1 checked Omer and Marianne, didn't tell anybody his seamstress information, and is now backing into that claim.
I'm cleared by the clockmaker too.
If we assume Marianne, the clockmaker is accurate information, which we don't necessarily know if they're sitting next to Christian, who is the Nodashi.
That's fair. I've been willing to die. Like, I've been pretty willing to die with the people that I've talked to.
I just think that's kind of suspicious.
What did he get? Or
if Claire's the Nodashi.
I got Omer and Marianne as a yes.
Of the same alignment. So,
yes.
Emily, are you willing to say what you were as well?
Yeah, I was the juggler. And I think this is, my juggle was on Franny being basically all those evil rolls. I was told 0. Sorry, Franny. My read was
we should have worked together a little bit.
I know. My read was 50% right. You were lying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And so that can't be a Vortox game because I was told 0.
I feel very convinced that Christian is a strong Nodashi candidate.
Yeah,
me as well.
Yes.
So
based on what?
Owen, what was the world that you were going to say where it doesn't have? Is it just the Christian Nodashi world where it's not a binary between you and
correct? Yeah, it doesn't necessarily implicate myself or Claire if Christian is the Nodashi, but I do think.
I think
I think that's probably the team.
Sam. It's probably Sam.
I nominate Christian.
Okay, Fishback, tell us why you've chosen Christian.
I think that there is a world where both Marianne's Clock 2 and my Town Crier info is poisoned and wrong. I think Christian is also socially just playing a little bit differently than he does when he's hot in the hunt. I know that, like, there's nothing Christian hates more than having his social reads meted, but I do feel like I have to do it. I thought it was a little bit weird for him to come out of the gate on day 1 and be like, I'm the dreamer into the mathematician. That's a lot of info to share publicly in town. So I think, like, of the worlds, and like both, Owen is not reading to me as evil. That could just be totally wrong. Owen he gulled us all last time, but I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Christian over Owen here
Yeah.
for baddie of the week.
Christian?
I think we should put this on the block.
So I'm sorry, I read a little bit different. I think that I made a bit of a mistake on the first day because I thought, because I haven't played at the mathematician before, I thought it was going to be useful to just get it out there that I'm getting zeros. That basically, if I get a zero as a result of that. So I'm a little nervous because I kind of screwed up at the beginning. I thought the mathematician was going to be able to eliminate the number of types of demons. Turns out that's not the case, and I ended up putting myself out there, and as a result, people are like, why am I still alive? And I think I'm being kept alive because people are finding me suspicious at this point. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Can I add something pertinent?
Go for it.
I just want to throw out there, I think it's interesting that, Christian's first act as mathematician was to try to convince us all that there was not a Nodashi. Based on the fact that he got a zero.
That's real bad.
Which, if you are the Nodashi, knowing
I mean, that's almost so obvious, but
I
get it.
But if he is the Nodashi,
We need another hand. We need another hand. We need another hand.
Yeah, we need
another
someone
hand.
else.
If your town
Sam
raise
or
your
Claire.
hand,
I would rather
if
do
you're good-
Owen. I would.
You would.
3 is just enough.
Claire, your
Yeah.
information is either wrong or you're lying.
I feel pretty confident that
that's fair.
it's not.
I have to go off the information that I have, which is a 1. I'm going to nominate Owen. In my world here is Owen is Vigor, killed Emily, who was his minion, poisoned Sam. I don't know if Owen knew what Sam was or not. And then Fishback has been getting true information. I think Owen is the most experienced in this game. Just want to
Fishback's
get it
information
out there.
is
But
for
that's
minions.
such a compliment, but such a lie.
In that world,
Fishback
Owen is only a
It's
witch,
only a minion.
though.
I would have
Yeah.
to be the demon in that world, Claire.
Okay.
Mhm.
Owen?
Right.
Did not realize
I know
that.
2 things I know for a fact. Number 1, that I'm not evil. I'm also an outsider. And if the functions of the game hold true to where we have 2 outsiders with 9 players, there cannot be a Vigor Mortis. So even if you are suspicious of me, it's just mechanically impossible for this to be the case. And
But
also,
Owen,
what?
The
Oh my.
argument
we
is that
rely
there
on
is a
your
Vigor
word,
Mortis.
right?
Yes, but I feel like my behavior with following Steven's plan and coming out to Franny pretty early, and I also told you, Omer, that I was an outsider. But anyway, I think we have the demon on the block, and I think it would be foolish to remove him.
Fair
Okay.
point.
The only
Force
thing
a
is
die,
that
3's
if
a tie.
yeah.
I also
guess
think
we got
it-
3
it-
votes on that.
With what Claire's saying, explain the clockmaker info because it's a clock too. So then, Claire, you would be the minion voting
Well,
on your,
Claire-
Yeah, then it would be
no
Steven,
Nodashi.
me, and Fitch.
Fair.
Next to it. No,
Oh,
it's
it's not
Marianne
enough.
next to it. If Marianne's next to a Nodashi, it's bad info. So it's.
Any
no,
other
But in the
Claire's-
world
Claire's
Claire's
world is it's not
postulating, I'm
Christian.
the Vigor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Any other nominations?
Fishback.
Okay, Christian, tell us why you've nominated Steven.
I've been trying to make sense of how Steven's information actually makes us all click, because basically everything that we're coming down to is the claim that he's getting poisoned information, which can all be made up here. And it actually, if I am in fact not the Nodashi, then that means Marianne's information is correct. And as a result, is a clockmaker too. That puts Steven and Owen in cahoots together as the evil team.
Yeah. I think the 2 worlds that we're dealing with right now is Christian Claire or Fishback Owen.
Fishback?
I don't
But I
think
think
anyone
both-
seriously believes this, so I'm not going to. I mean, like, I don't mind dying here, but I do think it's a mistake to
I will say
kill me
for-
over Christian.
Stephen, for your case here too, I guess in that world, Christian, where it's Fishback Owen, Claire's information doesn't make sense unless
That's what I was
Emily
gonna
passed.
say.
In which case, Emily as the demon is not a clock too.
Marianne,
there's
did
also
you want
a
to say
world-
something
oh.
a second ago when you were trying to put your hand up?
I just wanted to say that Christians, I forgot, I can't say it in depth and I'm so sorry, but your logic doesn't make sense because of, there was a reason why it didn't make sense and I can't explain
Something,
it. But
something.
Okay, I'm gonna run the vote. We're looking
but
for
team,
four.
I promise you, there's a flaw in his logic.
I think it might be
I think it's Christian
Christian and
Sam.
Sam. I know.
And I
just
think
feel-
that Sam.
That's
That's
what
why
I was
he put
saying.
that
It's not necessarily
earlier.
Claire.
I was the 3rd vote on Christian. I just
Well,
won't
I
say.
know.
no.
Well, that was
Which is a smart thing to
recommends
do.
you.
Any other
Claire, I
nominations?
trusted you this game.
In which case, Sam would be the what? Nodashi?
witch.
That's poisoning
Quality
Claire.
5,
The witch.
4,
He'd be the witch because otherwise
3,
Marianne's clock.
I'm trying to
info would've
understand how
been
two,
Claire's info is getting Claire's
1.
info.
Christian is executed and dies. And the game is over. And the good team is won.
Yeah! Let's go!
We did win.
Hell yeah!
Claire, you monster! I trusted you.
Monster.
Claire, that Oracle one, I think, was just flying a little too close to the sun there, but I understand why you did it.
I know.
Claire, of course, was our witch who was responsible for the death of Omer, because, of course, Omer was going to nominate Marianne on day one. That is literally the law. Next to them, we had our two outsiders, Owen the Barber, who was never executed, never died, and Franny the Mutant, who was the subject of a barrage of juggles from Emily. Our juggler, who learned a 0 because, of course, none of them were correct. We had Sam, our seamstress, who correctly identified that Omer and Marianne were on the same team. Marianne, of course, was our clockmaker, who incorrectly learned a 2 because she neighboured Christian, the no-dashi. That 2 was shaping up to possibly be Claire and Owen when Fishback got correct information on night 2. Because Claire nominated, and then incorrect information on night 3 when Owen and somebody else nominated, thus implicating Owen, but the good team were able to figure out that it was the no-dashi poisoning. And the bluffs were Oracle, Philosopher, and Snake Charmer.
You guys will have no idea how disappointed I was when I went and talked with Ben about the Snake Charmer bluff. I was fully prepared to say I got Snake Charmed on day 1.
Oh, so what was the...
The reason I didn't is because we were playing under the rules where I would have learned that Claire was the minion.
And therefore I would have had to throw Claire under the bus. So I was so disappointed. But anyway, good job.
I would have loved that,
team.
Christian.
Okay. I should. In hindsight, I should have done that the last night. I was thinking I was going to pull out. If I lasted this night, I would definitely try the snake charm. But I should have done it the fake snake charm. I should have done the previous night.
Claire, what do you have to say for yourself?
I will say, I don't have anything to say to you, Omer. I don't care. But I'll say, as soon as I went to sleep last night, I was like, I should have nominated. I realized, like, immediately. I was like, oh, well, I did think you were the nomination one, Fishback.
Yeah.
And as soon as I went to sleep, I was like, oh, that's why Fishback was suspicious of me, because he saw that I was potentially evil. And so I knew I messed up right away.
But Owen waited till the last second. Like, Owen played that very diligently.
Well, he did it, and I was like,
R.I.P. Keith Nail.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I should have done Owen. I should have witch cursed Owen instead.
That would have been, and that's why I didn't nominate you, because then you would have nominated me back, and that would have ruined the thing. But yeah, the witch curse on me. But that's like 4 layers down. That's tough. Oh, wow.
At no point did I say Christian or Claire's name as people I was suspicious of. I think I said literally everybody else's name.
Emily, you're good and wrong. It's always true.
Whatever my instinct is, I just need to do the opposite. I need to remind myself of that.
She's either good and wrong or pure evil.
Yeah, I mean, I know I never got a chance to talk with Owen, and I was like, he's probably putting it together over there. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him with it. And clearly there was some kind of shenanigans going on between Steven and Owen that I didn't penetrate. I did not think the mathematician was that powerful of a role that people would snipe, but that was everyone's take. So I was like, oh boy, I miscalculated there.
Sam, do you want to talk at all about why you hid the seamstress information for so long?
Yeah, my main thing was there is a variable in every single one of these games that we play, and that is Omer and Marianne coexisting and trying to see if they can do it successfully, Rob. And so my goal was like, there could be chaos afoot just because they are in the same circle as one another. So if I can have that information and then read how they are acting towards one another, then I can piece it together. And the more I know that this group of players too is very good. And as soon as I come forward with that information, everybody's story in their head is going to be able to like pivot on a dime once they know what kind of information they have to account for. So I figured that in my brain, I can piece it together more if I just keep it a little bit tighter.
But what was it like to know they were both good and they still fought?
Very on brand. Yeah, it was very on brand. I thought for a minute I was like I was gonna have to pull them each into a room and be like, listen, you two, all right, we need to start working towards the demon, not each other. We're all on the same team here.
Hey,
I
wasn't fighting. I was defending. Okay,
he antagonizes you.
Omer was the most sus man ever. He came to me in a room and said, I want to work with you. I'm not going to give you anything. And
you guys are so you guys are so chaotic that Omer died on a witch curse right off the bat, and I spent half the game trying to figure out if he witched himself and you were both bad because I just got like
never.
You would.
You would have to drag me down to hell. I would never go voluntarily.
So Claire and I talked for literally 1 second. Right after Emily and I were talking with Claire in a room, Emily dipped out 1 second. I said, "Take Oracle," and I ran. And so that's all we did. But I thought she was doing good work over there. So.
Thanks, Christian. I liked what you were cooking on with the mathematician, but I didn't know that it was so powerful either.
Yeah.
Well, according to the wiki,
if you had said Snake Charmer.
Franny, I called you an outsider too. You were an outsider.
You what?
I said you were an outsider. Our first convo, like, are you an outsider, Franny? I just like had a vibe off you. You were an outsider.
You did.
Vibe.
No, I was.
But obviously you couldn't
really
say anything.
Flustered. Yeah. No, I would have done a better job being composed if I was evil. Actually, I was just so stressed about being outside that I had a dream last night that I was going to be the mutant, and I was so afraid about it, and then that's what I was.
Oh.
I thought Omer was
the dreamer in real life.
Yeah. It was a real.
I was very. I owe Franny an apology. My confessional after she killed herself was not nice. I was very upset. No, it wasn't that bad. I was just frustrated. I'm like, because my main thing is I wanted to hear from Claire because I also talked and I said, I have never played Clocktower where Claire has been good. Ever. Claire is bad every single game, and I was dying to hear Claire say something, and then the entire day was just a Franny nomination and Franny dies, and I'm like, that wasn't helpful. I need to hear Claire speak.
You know what's funny too, Claire? Oh, you can respond to what Sam said first, then I can just jump in to the dog pile.
No, I know I didn't talk to Sam at all. I was like, man, I think that was the issue, Sam. If I could have gotten to you and gaslit you.
Told me I was your marionette.
Maybe you would have targeted me because I was picking you every single night, Sam. I was like, he hasn't nominated yet. Maybe people will people will be like, oh, Sam doesn't normally nominate, so he should nominate. Because Witch wouldn't pick him, and here I am, trying to plot and scheme. Meanwhile,
I thought the witch was dead. I started to think the witch was dead because nobody had died from a witch curse for a while. So yeah, that was tricky.
Claire, she just marinades, and then she kills me, and then uses me to pin it on Owen and Emily.
Can I say, is the mathematician actually that special, or were people just saying that to make Christian?
I feel like it never gets good
at all. Yeah, I feel like I no offense to mathematicians out there, but I was like, that's one of the worst roles. I was like,
literally on Wikipedia.
Why would you philo into mathematician then? You can do any role in the game. Like, why would you? Yeah.
Crazy.
Well,
I believed it.
Thank you. I thought the reasoning was at least was passable. But I'm
telling you, the whiteboard.
Yeah, it's right there. I got it. It's at the whiteboard. But I was going into people's I did it because I wanted to narrow down what type of demon there is, and I've determined. And I didn't want to it was so I was like, this is going to be so obvious that I'm the Nodashi if this ever comes out. And I'm like, oh damn it, you were onto it. And it's I'll play it off. It's why would I say it so obviously if I was the Nodashi?
That's a pretty compelling argument, though.
I love the double reverse argument of it's so obvious that I would never do something like that.
Exactly. That was
good. No, Claire, you led me to Christian by my wrong information. Because Claire went to me and she's like, you know what? She's like, Emily and Franny both died, and I got that one of them is evil, and I'm like, okay, so let's figure it out. If Emily's evil, it's Christian and you, so it's not that. I'm like, and if Franny's evil, it's Omer who's dead, and it's Christian, so Christian must be evil.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
hilarious.
Claire.
The clock too, both points.
I
left that, and I was like,
the wrong clock too.
Okay.
Claire, there was a part of me that wanted you to what I was thinking was self-witch curse. Take yourself off the board.
Yeah.
And go on.
Oh, no, I was going to, I think similar to how you were trying to do Snake Charmer the next night, I was going to Witch Curse myself the next night. I had that, like, my first thing was like, I'm going to Witch Curse myself at one point.
Yeah.
But I, like, was also so excited to lie about my Oracle number. I got too excited.
We should have let the evil team live long enough to self-destruct. I would have really liked this. We cut them off too soon.
All right, well, incredible job once again from all the players, and a great job by you, Ben. For people who are interested in playing some more Blood on the Clocktower, how do they find out more information?
Head on over to bloodontheclocktower.com if you want to check out the board game, the in-person game, or if you want to jump straight into the app, you can go to botc.app and create an account. And if you want to run your own games on the app, you can go over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/BOTC online.
Players, is there anything else anybody wants to say before we sign off?
Just thank you, everybody, for participating and for tuning in.
We love to read what you have to say in the comments. It's so much fun to see your reactions from the game. So let us know what you think. And until next time, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
You the juggler?
No. I'm not the juggler. I want them to think I am, though. Locked and loaded.